stay healed up throughout the day, right, everyone? Make sure you stay healed up. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back for another episode of Healzonu. Welcoming you all back to another Ultima Online stream. It's been kind of my go-to game recently. How can you blame me when you find a game this awesome? Even after this many years, right? I can still come back to this game. Still feel comfortable. Still enjoy the content. That's the best part about it. And even with these player-run servers, there's still new content popping up all the time. Seasonal events, like the Leprechaun event that we're participating in Ultima Online Renaissance right now. We've got the Easter Bunny event coming up for Easter, where you get to hunt Easter eggs. It's going to be so much fun, folks. It's playable on all different platforms, too. Wazuba, what's up, bud? I like the emote, the what's up emote. I'm going to start popping off some of those emotes myself. In some of my spare time, I'm going to start creating some emotes. I'm going to do some, I have to make myself some potion bottles for sure, right? Of course. How are you today, bud? How are you? Oh, I feel like I have something in my eye. Oh. Maybe I should have done a spot check, a circle check before I came live, eh? Should have done the circle check on my face before I came live. So how are you today, bud? Oh, that's good. I'm always good, man. I'm always good. Well, even today, I'm doing even better. Like, look at this weather we're getting recently. Like, okay, so just for point of reference, I'm in Canada here, right? And like, to get this type of weather where I could sit here with the stream shed door open this early in the morning time, like it's only like 7:15 in the morning time here, right? And hey, computer, what's the temperature out right now?
Right now, it's 1 degree Celsius. Today,
it's plus weather.
15 degrees.
Doesn't sound...
I hope you have a good morning.
The joys of being Canadian, right? When it's +1, plus anything, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can wear shorts and a t-shirt. This is so warm. Meanwhile, most people would be like, oh, it's so cold. Oh, see, there you go. Like any minor fluctuation in temperature, you're all of a sudden you're like, oh man, like, you know, the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, it's a great day, right? That's too funny. Yeah, we're getting really lucky this year, though, with how early we're actually getting into the nice weather. I mean, any year that you can pretty much mountain bike in dry trails before, say, like mid-April, you're laughing. And this will probably be one of those years, I would assume anyways. Because outside right now, there is some minor thawing and stuff like that still going on. But for the most part, it is pretty clear out there. Most of the snow is already gone. There isn't much ice left anywhere, so it was a pretty easy breezy year, that's for sure. And I figure we're going to be doing some treasure maps to start off the day today. And then if any of my guildmates join up in Discord, we might be able to run some, maybe we could run some leprechauns, or maybe we could run some different group content or something like that. I'd really like to run one of my holiday scrolls sometime soon as well. I've got some holiday scrolls on my tamer here. So these scrolls, for anyone that isn't familiar to UO Renaissance, these holiday scrolls open up an instant dungeon, which is pretty cool. So you and a small group can go into the dungeon yourself and clear out the dungeon by yourselves, which is pretty rare in Ultima Online. Most content is completely open world. Anyone can join freely if they want and stuff like that. So it's kind of neat to be able to open up an instance version of a dungeon, which is pretty common nowadays. Like World of Warcraft has instance, like all new MMOs have instances, right? Where you open up your own version of the dungeon. But this server has its own version of that through the Holiday Scrolls, which is really neat. Oh, excuse me. And without further ado here, let's get into some maps here, shall we? Let's get into some treasure maps. So the idea behind this is you find these treasure maps on different creatures on the map. So by defeating different monsters and stuff like that, you'll get treasure maps. And then what you do is you take your treasure hunter, which is Straith here in my case, and you have to open the map. All right, so as I said, without further ado, once you've opened the map, it's going to give you a pin number, which is 145 in this case. Then you come over to the Ruin Library, which is a treasure map ruin library, which most established servers will have one of these available for the public and stuff like that. So we're going to pin 145. All right. I like to always recall in hidden, just in case the previous treasure mapper. Oh, I need regents. Okay, I'll go do that real quick before I start here. Just in case the last treasure hunter didn't clear out his spawn, I always try to recall in hidden, and then that way I don't die. Because I've had it a couple of times where you will recall in right on top of someone else's treasure map that they just previously did, and it's not usually good news. So what are you up to, Wazuba? What are you up to today? Playing some Call of Duty? Popping some domes? I gotta get you playing some Overwatch sometime. I gotta get you playing some DPS and Overwatch for me sometime, bud. You've got good aim. I think Overwatch is a good game to play for people too, developing like aim and stuff like that, because it's so fast paced. Like Overwatch has to be one of the fastest paced FPS games I've ever played, especially because of the movement abilities. Virtually almost every character has a movement ability, and it's very instead of just being on the horror. I'm awful with knowing which one's the x-axis and the y-axis, but a lot of shooters are kind of like, okay, this is your plane of field, like you're shooting heads on this plane of field. Overwatch is very up and down because most of the players either have flight abilities or like grappling hooks and stuff like that, so it's very up and down too. All right, so 145 here. And I just love role-based like shooters like that. Like Overwatch, Paladins, Apex has a little bit of it. It's not quite as dominant as the other games, but it's still a lot of fun. Just waiting for online school to end. I have done all the work, so just waiting for people to catch up. Yeah, you know, it's funny. My nephew always says the same thing. Like, he's like, I always ask him, you know, do you like online schooling or in-class learning better? And he's always so torn on the answer, right? Because, you know, he likes the fact that he gets kind of his, you know, like his downtime and stuff like that. And, you know, his, I guess just like his earned time if he's on online learning, right? So if he finishes a course or something a little bit earlier than the rest of the class or something like that, he really enjoys that. But at the same time, he obviously really enjoys the social aspect of, you know, in-class learning. So every time I ask him, it seems to be like a different answer. One time he's, no, I like the online learning, and then the next time he's like, no, I like the class learning. So it probably depends a lot on, you know, who he's talked to that day and how early he finished his work, right? So what we're doing is we're just slowly digging up the map here. As the treasure chest is revealed here, there's going to be some monsters that spawn around the chest. And then we've got a summoned demon here that's going to help us kill off the monsters. I can usually solo... This is a level 3 map. I can usually solo up to a level 3 by myself. And of course, we're going to pop all liches here, so they're probably going to dispel this demon. Of course, right? So what we might have to do is we might have to summon some energy vortexes as well, possibly. Yeah, we'll see if that kind of helps. And then we'll sit here hidden for a second while that gets cleared out there. So what do you prefer then, Wazuba? Do you prefer online learning? Or do you prefer, like, in-class stuff? I know myself, like, I'd be really torn myself, too, because I know I would really like the, again, I would like the online aspect of it because, you know, if you work ahead and stuff like that, you'd be able to kind of do your own thing, maybe concentrate on something that you felt kind of weak on in a subject or something like that, whereas the in-class has so many benefits too, right? Like, I'm very hands-on. I like to learn, like, firsthand. So there's so many benefits to learning in class, right? Having the teacher there firsthand to be able to bounce questions off of things like that, obviously, right? All right, so we're gonna have to meditate here a little bit. Make sure that we don't die here. It's going to be pretty embarrassing if we end up dying to our own summons and stuff like that, right? That's one thing. I don't have provoke or anything like that, so it makes it a little bit trickier to do like these level 3s and stuff like that. Especially if they start dispelling my my summons. Right now these ones seem to be doing okay. Oh, the demon's gone, I think. Yeah, alright. Summon up a new one of those. It helps to at least have GM Magery, because then I can at least, as you can see, like summon demons, cast, you know, energy vortex, stuff like that to clear out the spawn, right? I mean, I could be kind of cheesy and stuff like that and dual box it to do the map a little bit more efficiently or a little bit easier, but I wanted to kind of do this solo for the first one at least, right? Kind of show you how it can be done, right? I always forget that I don't have my hotkeys set for this character. Hopefully I'm okay now. Maybe I should be okay. Alright, so we're going to start picking it here. And on this server, you unfortunately don't need remove trap. I say unfortunately because it makes it a little bit cheesier to be able to just use telekinesis and be able to pop the trap that way, but it is nice to not have to remove, or it is nice to not have to work up remove trap on your character, so there is that. Hey, King, how's it going, bud? Oh, the stream avatars, Wazuba? Yeah, everyone always comments on those. They are super cool. It's actually an app I got from Steam. It was on sale, I want to say, for $5 or $10 after Christmas time, like Boxing Day in Canada here. I never know if other places have Boxing Day. Like, essentially, it's just the day after Christmas time. We call it Boxing Day, I think, because everyone gets in a fight, because it's like our biggest sales day of the year in Canada, and everyone just gets in boxing matches for like the good deals. The deals that you've slowly seen tech rising for the past like 6 months. And then all of a sudden, because the TV is now $500 more expensive than it was like 6 months ago, they've dropped the price on it. Watch the trends. Watch the trends, folks. If you're a big tech person, watch the tech trends. You'll watch prices go up before Christmas time, and then all of a sudden they have these great sales where it's like, you know, $200 off, when a lot of the times, if you've been watching tech, the TV was the same price earlier in the year. So a little tip there. Oh, you guys have Boxing Day too? Oh, dude, that's my demon. That's my sick demon, dude. Okay, so you can summon demons in this game, right? And that's my sick demon that's following me. I have Grand Mastery in Magery, so I can pretty much like cast anything I want. Okay, so also too, for point of reference, I would normally milk a chest, but because I'm on a character that's not really good with dealing with spawn, I'm just gonna loot it and boot it, right? You just get in, get your loot, and get out. But normally, like if I was here with like maybe a teammate or even a second tamer, I would sit here and like pull out like each individual item. I'd even waste the time in pulling out, oh cripes, Overlord. I'd even waste the time in pulling out like each individual like piece of gold, like maybe 10 at a time, to really get as much spawn as I could, right? But because we're on this character, I just, like I said, I just want to loot and boot and then get out of here as quick as I can. And this is a nice, easy way to do that. Summon a demon, get him to kind of tank off, and then if you need to, summon a couple blade spirits in between, or maybe an energy vortex or something like that, right? Ooh, fart! Fart, fart, fart! That almost scared me. Most people don't use the emotes and stuff like that for the stream avatars, because you can fart with them. I think you can fight with them. I think you can dance with them. There's so many different emotes for them. And there's also some different games you can play with them too. Like I can send the group into a raid. I think there's like a basketball game or something like that as well. There's a bunch of different things you can do with it. It's really neat. Definitely a great tool for any streamers out there. That's probably one of the most commented things on my stream is the stream avatars. Hey, Falconer, welcome back, bud. Oh, I thought I was hidden. Well, everyone gets to see an embarrassing death there. I thought my character was hidden on screen there. Yeah, I thought I was hidden, but I guess apparently I wasn't. So after you die, this is a good opportunity to show off the death in this game. So after you die, you essentially have to wander around and find a wandering healer. It's one of the few, like, really, it can be really frustrating at times, because it always seems to be like when you die in a situation like this, there's never just a wandering healer, you know, like a screen away or anything like that. So it can be frustrating at times to find a wandering healer, but like those are the things that I enjoy about the game. It's the risk versus reward, right? They're not just handing you loot in this game like in a lot of other games, I find. You know right now when I resurrect, that's what I'm like. You can't see what I'm pointing at, but I'm pointing at my bag right here, right? That's what I'm going to start with. It's not like I'm going to have all my items back. Oh, there's a leprechaun. Oh, great. That's the other thing I have to deal with too. If I get resurrected, it's going to be tricky to run back. But yeah, you don't just resurrect with everything in your bag like most games. You will start off with your basic items. Which again, like some people would get frustrated at that, but it's part of the game, right? Oh, no, don't worry about it, Falconer. No, don't worry about it. Stuff like this, I don't mind at all. Oh, that's funny. There's that Dog Matrix guy. This guy is, like, really famous for, like, coming into the Jellum bull farms where people tame animals. And he just tames and releases things for, like, hours on a macro. And just, like, literally fills the bullpens. Oh, and of course there's going to be, like, silver serpents and, you know, like giant serpents and stuff like that that'll poison you. Great. Love it. Love it. Like, even again, if I wanted to be Cheeseball, I could easily just use another character, resurrect, like, you know, gate in, resurrect myself and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't like doing that stuff. That's not how I, you know, was raised on UO. Oh, no worries, Wazuba. No, by all means, I appreciate the lurk. And, of course, stay healed up, right? Since I didn't stay healed up, you at least stay healed up. Enjoy the day. Oh, and have fun in school today, bud. Study hard. Yeah, go figure. People start tuning in as soon as I die here. Like an idiot. 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 Alright, you know what? In this case here, I might actually gate in a second character. Just because there doesn't seem to be a wandering healer around to help myself out here. So I am actually going to do myself a bit of a favor. Also, too, I don't want to be just running around on stream here, bored and boring. So I'll gate into 144 here. Again, this is like really cheeseball, but whatever. Probably right here. Oh, no, next one out. Sorry for this, folks. I don't like being cheesy like this, but I was also a little bit stupid and wasn't paying attention. I thought my screen, or I thought my character was hidden. So here I am being a moron. I'll just go provoke those two creatures real quick here. Where'd they get off to? Now watch, as I'm running back with Straith, what's going to happen is the Ogre Lord is going to kill the Fire Elemental. And then the Ogre Lord is going to aggro on Haplo. And then he is going to die. And then I won't be able to get either one of them out. Yep. Oh, that almost happened. That almost happened, folks. That would have been so awesome. Honestly, that would have been so awesome if that had happened. And then as I see Straith running by, because I left him on auto run. Oh boy. Oh boy. Does this... Oh wait. Oh no, I guess it doesn't work for... Oh wait. Containers. Where is... Okay. I found it last night. Oh. Here we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. All right. Why wasn't I using this before? Double click to loot? Okay. Well, sorry about that, folks. Thanks for staying tuned in. All right. All right. That's funny. That is too funny. Okay. At least I figured out the double click to loot thing again, because I had that figured out on my other character. And there's so many new things, because the last time I played, we didn't have the classic UO client. The last time I was playing Ultima Online, like on a player-run server. So it's really neat now to be able to have something like that, because that is super, super helpful. All the different, like just user interface options built in and stuff like that. I'm gonna get rid of those. That's just bag clutter at this point. But yeah, there's so many little user interface options that are built in, which are so nice. All right, so let's go back to doing this here. Like I said, I don't want to be super cheeseball with this, so I don't want to have my second character sitting there the whole time. Even if I die, it's still, I don't know, in my opinion, it's still more interesting content than just watching someone kind of like just crush stuff out. I don't know. Isn't it? I don't know. Would people rather watch me like sit here and just crush stuff out with my tamer than potentially die with my picker by himself? I never know what's interesting to people to watch. Like for me, I would rather watch someone kind of like old school it and like actually do content. But I'm sure there's some people out there that would rather just watch people like just crush out content too, right? Just waiting for that demon to aggro there. That's the thing with these dread spiders and stuff like that. Like I don't usually do the level 3s because then when you start getting into like dread spiders, like liches, stuff like that, like you get into some pretty decent spawn. That for someone without provoke and that's just kind of a basic non-PVM character that's very niche built, it can get really tricky. See if we can get this off before that demon goes down. Oh. Oh, and of course he casts poison on me. You bitch. Where did my cure go? Where did my normal cure go? Yeah, it's one thing, I don't have my hotkeys apparently set up for this character. I've got all my hotkeys set up for all my other characters except for this one apparently. So I'll have to do that the next time I'm off stream here. Just set that up quick. Yeah, I'm like, that's the thing, right, Falconer? Like, I'm old school. Like, I'll run 3 accounts and stuff like that just to have the character selection and stuff like that because I like being able to create different characters for different, you know, purposes and stuff. But for the most part, like, I don't like multi-boxing all the time and stuff, like, especially on stream and stuff like that. Like, I might run a multi-box, like I said, to complete a map or something like that. But for the most part, I want to, you know, I want to do it old school. Have one character doing, you know, a map or, you know, running a dungeon or something like that, right? I don't know. I'm old school where I used to be running around with, you know, like 80 swordsmanship and, you know, 60 healing trying to take out a lich without a silver weapon type of thing, right? Hoping that you don't get flames, hoping that you don't get that like 1 out of 100 flame strike, or I guess with a lich it would be energy blast. But you know, just that rare energy blast or whatnot, or that rare explosion energy blast, right? From a lich, throwing out the PvP combos. Well, it was funny too because the one day I was talking about like the bone wall, right, Falconer? Like everyone remembers, like all the old schoolers remember the bone wall, right? Getting off work or getting off school, depending on how old you were at the time. But you'd get off work or you get off school, and then all of a sudden you'd be ready for power hour, and you'd be all jazzed up and everything like that, and you'd get home, and then sure enough, you'd get to the bone wall and try and finish off your try and finish off your fencing or swordsmanship or tactics or whatever it was. It's funny because back in the day I always had characters that were finished tactics first, and I never really thought about it, but I went to go build a Dexter here, right? And it was funny because I'm like, why is tactics raising so slow? And it's like, oh right, because I don't have 4 weapon skills like I do back in the day, because back in the day you'd have 4 weapon skills just in case you found like that good mace or that good fencing weapon or that good swordsmanship weapon, right? So you'd have all the weapon skills just in case you found a good weapon for that class of weapons, so you could use that weapon, right? And it was like, oh, I've got GM tactics. Yeah, that's because you have 80 weapon skill in every weapon skill. Of course you're gonna GM tactics when everything else is sitting at 80, right? Alright, so I'm almost kind of hoping I don't get too much more spawn here. I'm just gonna kind of cherry pick the items here at this point. Like I said, I'm not gonna take much more than weapons and armor here, and even that's gonna be kind of limited. Alright, what we'll do is we'll do a quick loot macro. Oh, wow. Really? That Overlord took out a demon? Oh, this Overlord's going to tap me here probably before I get to cast it. Yeah. I always forget how long it takes to cast Blade Spirit. But it is such a powerful spell for its level. Like, even back in the day, my buddy and I were joking because when we first started on this server, like, I mean, we're just sitting there casting Blade Spirit on, like, Cyclopses and Titans and stuff like that. And, like, we're brand new on the server with, like, 50 Magery, right? Just having a blast. Oh no, it's aggroed me! Run! But no, and that's why it's funny too, because that's one of the reasons why I chose this server, was it had that feeling of like the old school approach to things, because I had played on a lot of servers and stuff like that, where when I joined up, like, it was UO, but it wasn't like UO, whereas this one felt like, old school. Everything was kind of similar, everything was, what I kind of remembered, right? All right. So now I'll drop off this ogre. Like, so that's one thing I love about getting overlords with these chests. They have great loot. They're relatively easy to take down because a blade spirit or two will take them down. Whereas like the dread spiders, stuff like that, starts getting a little hairy, right? Being able to dispel and stuff like that. All right. Let's do a quick loot here. We're probably going to pop something brutal here. And then we'll see. Oh, yeah, okay. So we got one more Orglord. We'll kill him. Oh, he's going to get to me before... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, folks, that was too close. That was too close. Keep it entertaining, right? Like I always say, if nothing less, you're going to get entertainment here. Close calls... all the fun stuff, right? We'll just summon a demon, which takes a lot less time. We'll just summon the demon, which takes a lot less time. Speaking of how overpowered Blade Spirit is, it takes a long time to cast it, though. Alright, so I think that's all the looting I'm going to do, because it's going to take a little while to take down these Overlords here. So I think this is probably going to be the last of the looting here, and then I'm probably done this chest and I'll move on. But it is kind of neat. Sorry, I kind of got distracted there for a minute. It is kind of neat having that nostalgic feel and stuff like that. Like, especially now that UOR is releasing, like, the old school factions. I'm getting that buzz again from, like, myself, you know, a lot of people and stuff. Because there's so many people, like, you know, that remember old school factions, you know, lining up and dropping, you know, poison fields in faction bases and stuff. And the way that UOR is doing it is like true old school factions. The more I'm reading up on it, there's, you know, sigil stealing, control. Each faction has its own actual customized based by the developers of UOR, so it's very balanced that way. You know, controlling cities, placing guards, war horses, all that good stuff, right? So it should be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited for that content. They're in the process of releasing the content right now. Yeah, why is my macro not working for... So that's one thing. I've got all my other characters set up really, really well. And then I guess this character is not set up as well. Because usually I use a lantern. Put that to alt. Oh. Should be control for that one. I use a lantern to cancel spell casting. One server I played on actually had like a prompt to cancel the spell that you were casting. I haven't read anything about this one, so what I do is if I need to cancel a spell, I'll prompt or I'll hit a macro to equip my lantern, which is a pretty easy way of hitting a cancel spell, which comes in handy like situations like that, right? Get this guy finished off here. Oh. This guy's right on me. I'll just use him to tank for a minute there, and then I'll cast a couple Blade Spirits to pull them off me. Yeah, it was such a neat feeling with the Bone Wall back in the day. And it was funny, too, because, like, you'd get, like, the Reds pulling up and stuff like that. And, you know, they'd try and take out the Bone Wall. And sometimes you'd have, you know, the group mentality where it's like, wait a second, there's, like, 20 of us and there's only 1 or 2 of them. Like, why aren't we attacking them? You just block them in, like, just wall them in, right? And then you get sometimes where the Bone Wall would just collapse. Everyone would just, you know, either be AFK or whatnot and just be standing there, you know, slowly whacking away on the Bone Knights and whatnot. But you'd see, you know, like, one person falls and the next person, then it's just all corpses there, right? And then the whole room is just chaos, because as soon as, you know, the Bone Knights could make it through the wall of players, then it was just utter chaos in that area, right? But yeah, no, it was so much fun back in the day. I always had a blast. And I remember too, a big thing was when T2A came out, and we started going to like the City of the Dead, which was essentially like where the liches and there was all like the liches and all that kind of stuff there, like all the undead stuff, like ghouls and everything. And that was like a really big area. And back in the day, like if you had like any type of silver weapon, like that was like the symbol that you had pretty much made it, right? So it was always funny, like having that one silver weapon. I can remember back in the day, like having that one silver weapon and you and your buddy would like share it, right? Like you'd be like, all right, well, I'm going to be online tonight, probably like after dinner tonight. So like, do you mind if I take it to the City of the Dead tonight? And then well, you know, I was planning on going after dinner too. Like, do you want to meet up and you do the damage and I'll do the healing? Oh, Rotten King, I'm glad to have you back, bud. I'm glad you're back. So that's the other thing too. just to throw it out there, you can play this without the GPU, bud. So if you wanted to jump into some Ultima Online action, you could easily play this on the PC. This would be a fun one. All right, so I'm gonna hack this chest here, because like I said, I'm getting sick of dealing with the spawn from this chest, and I think from now on I'm probably only gonna max out at a level 2 chest for soloing it. Because like I said, I didn't like having to deal with the things that can dispel and stuff like that. So moving forward, I'm only going to do up to a level 2 chest solo. And then level 3 and above will be for like if I do want to dual box it with a tamer and my picker. Because like I said, this is, I'll admit, like even for me, this is kind of boring right now. Just slowly working through this. But at least, like I said, at least you get some tips and tricks, like stuff like that. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of players on the server that don't know about that lantern trick. Like, that is a really good trick. So, like I said, like, if you're casting Blade Spirit, like, oh no, I'm frozen. And then you just cast, you equip your lantern, and then all of a sudden you're unfrozen, right? Good little tip there. Dispel the Blade Spirit. Go loot my Ogre Lords. That is the one nice thing. Oh, I love it when that happens. What level is it? No way. So I love it when that happens. When you get a map on a map. You gotta love that. Gotta love it. Alright. So the chest is all done. We've got all our loot. Not bad. I mean, almost 7K for a quick treasure map. You can't beat that, right? We'll blast up, go back to town, drop off our loot. Like, even if you notice, half the times I'll type in bank, because I'm so old school that way. Like, half the times I don't have macros for bank and stuff like that. I'm horrible that way. Well, that's pretty cool, though. Yeah, like I said, I love getting maps from maps. As you can see, I'm pretty map obsessed, right? I've got them all in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gotta make sure you're organized, right? And I do have item identification, so I can just quickly identify like all my magic items and stuff like that. I can guarantee it's all gonna be poop, but whatever. Still like to look through it just in case. Because that's the other thing a lot of people that are new to treasure mapping don't realize. There's technically... It's hard to explain, but there's technically just as much chance to get a vank item, like a vanquishing item, in a level 1 chest as there is a level 5 chest. Because all magic items technically have the same ratio to be a high-end magic item. The only difference is between a level 1 chest and a level 5 chest, the way I understand it, is there's more magic items in the level 5 chest, so there's actually just more chances at a better item, right? So even on a level 1 chest, yeah, see, exactly, like, bam, right there, Chris of Power. That's not bad. Like, it's not worth a lot, but they're decent to use, right? Like, that'll go on my fencer, and that'll be, like, a nice weapon, right? Plus 10 Chris of Power. Like, you can't really argue with that, right? So just for point of reference, that's a relatively high magic weapon. That's like the second highest you can get. It's power and then vanquishing. So that's not bad to find in a level 3 chest. And then some hardening, what are those, ring mail? Oh, leather gloves. So I'll keep those too. I like leather armor. I'll usually keep leather armor. And sorry, I don't know if I asked you before, Falconer. If you're still here, what server do you play on? Because everyone seems to be on UO Outlands. Which I've said before, don't get me wrong, is a great server. It's just, it was too custom for me. Like I said, it would be good for people that had probably been playing Ultima Online like virtually since the beginning and haven't really quit or taken any time off because they're probably sick of all the old content. Whereas for me, like, I'm, you know, I took a long time off. I'm still looking for the old school appeal, like original Ultima Online. All right, forget that. I'm just going to drop this stuff here. We don't need to be selling a bunch of low-end magic items right now. We'll just drop them here at the bank. Someone can maybe make use of them. They can sell them off if they want to. And then I'll just get back to dungeon maps. All right. Another treasure map. So this time we're going to do a level 2, because like I said, I think the level 3 was a little too high end for a single treasure hunter that's not specialized for soloing treasure maps. Because on this server, you could build a treasure hunter with like provocation and stuff like that and fit it onto the build. And in that case, you'd be able to you'd be able to solo level 3s relatively easy. But this character is more like kind of a jack of all trades, so he's got stealth and hiding for like dungeon picking. So I'll just do a level 2. What do we have? 62, right? Yeah, okay. 62. Oh. Uh-oh. Okay. So we got a Banshee here. I don't know how that's going to play out. Because, okay, so for point of reference, right now we have the St. Paddy's Day event going on. So, like, all over the entire map, there's special spawn, even on the overland stuff. So it makes stuff like this, you know, kind of tricky. Because normally there wouldn't be, say, that creature here. And that is a relatively high-end creature. I believe they can dispel, if I'm not mistaken. So we might have to dip out of this map, I have to admit. But we're going to try it. As long as he doesn't aggro me. Oh, yeah, of course he's going to come closer now, right? We'll see. Okay. We might be okay here. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I think we might be okay. He seems to be just hugging that shoreline there. I think we might be okay here. All right. All right. And they'll all aggro on that. Oh, great. And a clover golem, too. Oh, great. So I can't run very far here, or else I'm going to start aggroing stuff that's pretty high end. The special event creatures are relatively easy to take out, like if you have provocation and stuff like that, but this character doesn't, so it is going to be kind of tricky for me to start taking these guys out without provocation. And I'm hoping that my demon doesn't push these guys too far. Hoping to kind of stay in the middle here. Kind of work around these creatures. Oh, so also too, with this event, it's really neat because if you kill either of these special event creatures, or there was a leprechaun that was jumping around earlier when I was trying to get resurrected, if you kill any of those 3 creatures, they all have a chance of spawning like a little sparkle portal. And if you jump into the sparkle portal, just like I was explaining earlier with the scroll instance dungeons, the little portal will teleport you into an instance dungeon, which has like a little mini champ in it, which is super, super cool. So for any PVMers out there that like that type of content, this server has, like I said, some custom content, and that's one of the events throughout the year. Like it's so well done that like people even come back to Ultima Online Renaissance pretty much for this event. All right, I believe I already picked it if I'm not mistaken. So now we just need to pop it. And now we loot it. Now we loot it. And again, I'm just going to quick loot here because we don't really care about the spawn on a level 2. It's not like we're going to milk a level 2 chest. So we pretty much just get the stuff to spawn. Oh. Make sure that my demon picks up any aggro or anything like that. Oh. That Banshee is getting dangerously close again. Again, I'm just going to kind of cherry pick what items I want out of the chest. Pretty much going to leave all that stuff in there. And be helpful, be kind. Leave the campgrounds in better shape than you found it. Cut up your chests, folks. There's nothing worse than being a treasure hunter and trying to go to a treasure map and you can't open the treasure map because someone hasn't chopped their chest. Like, there's nothing worse than that, folks. Oh, Fabinator, thank you so much for the raid. Always appreciate it. How are you doing? Are you going to bed now for the evening? Now that you're on the other side of the world, eh? I'm just waking up as you're just going to bed. Oh, you know what? Speaking of which, since we got raided here, we have to make sure that we put on our raid cap, right? Because we have to hide our livestock, right? How's it going today, everyone? We're playing some old school Ultima Online here. For anyone that doesn't know, this is like the great-grandfather of MMO games. It's funny because I get a lot of people that come into my stream and stuff like that, and when I tell them the age of the game is probably older than they are. This game came out in the mid-90s. A lot of it is typing commands, but like I always say, it's the gameplay with this game. It's not the graphics. It's like a Minecraft type of game. The gameplay is what really shines through. It's A+ gameplay. It's amazing, folks. Check it out if anyone wants to check it out. This is the link for the server. You can play it on mobile devices. You can play it on computer. Like, we're talking about a game that was built around single core Pentium pro.
Please check its network.
Hey, computer, shut up. Computer, stop. Stop, computer, stop. Stop. But this is a game that was built around like single core, megahertz processors, right? So if you want to play it, trust me, if you got anything that plays anything, you can play this game. So come enjoy it with us, folks. How are you today? Oh, Scottish Aussie too hosted and rated. I apologize. So we got to get a double hat going here. How's it going, everyone? We're going to get a little bit of a wave here. How's it going? How is everyone? Oh, here we go. We got GB in the house. GB's like probably, I would say, I'm thinking that somewhere in the background of, Chrome tabs or something, GB has UO Renaissance probably pulled up and has probably, hovered over it a couple times and has been like, you know what? maybe I should download this game. Maybe it would be fun. By the way, GB used to play Ultima Online back in the day, so I've been trying to talk them into coming back again. Trying to do some arm twisting, right? And Scottish, have an excellent evening. Thank you for the host and the raid, of course. And take a healing potion with you for the night, right? Oh, and also too, an Rgb potion, right? Make sure you take an Rgb potion with you as well. I'm horrible for that. I'm such a good/bad advocate for the game. It can be very dangerous, right? It can be very dangerous coming in here, especially if you are an old school UO player. I really bump up the nostalgia and everything like that, right? So we're just doing some quick treasure maps and stuff like that here, folks. So in this game, from the different monsters you can kill, essentially what this game is it's like a high fantasy role-playing game, right? But oh, I don't know why that mic was down. But like I was saying, very, very super old school, right? But with killing monsters, you get treasure maps, okay? And with the treasure maps, you can go on treasure hunts, and that's what we are doing right now. So with our treasure hunter, we're going out and digging up chests. So pretty much what you do is you take the treasure map, okay? My character has skill in cartography, which is map making, right? Through that, I can open up these treasure maps, right? And then it's going to give you a pin on the map where you have to go and actually dig up the treasure, which is really super fun. So what we do is we look at the number of the map, which is number 80 here. I'm going to go to that spot and dig it up. 1 second here, and I'll get back to chat here in a second. All right. Oh, it's so true, GB, right? It's one of those games where, like, a lot of people, like a lot of old school gamers probably have heard about it too, but have never, like, played it themselves, because there's, like, a lot of old school, like, you know, like, legends about this game, right? Most of them being true. To create, like, for an example, one of the best known legends, because it's even in the Guinness Book of Records to this day, one of the best known, like, legends about this game is the creator of the game created a character, Lord British, right, the king of the world, came into the world and oh, I forgot to summon a demon. Oh well. He came into the world and players actually assassinated him. He forgot to turn on, I guess, his character's invulnerability. So when he came into the world, people were attacking him, and he actually died in game. And it's still talked about to this day, because, I mean, for that to happen in a game is hilarious, right? Because nowadays everything's invulnerable and stuff like that, right? But yeah, for years it held, you know, Guinness Book of Records and stuff like that. Different records for the most widely played game and everything. Most players on it simultaneously at a time. But over time, it's kind of drifted off, right? And we've talked about it before. RuneScape still has a lot of traction compared to Ultima Online, and I don't get why. Because I always enjoyed Ultima Online more than RuneScape. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan. Heals! Avis, I'm so sorry, Avis. I missed your message. How are you today? Hopefully your ears are feeling better so you don't have to mute me. Because I certainly sympathize with that. My girlfriend has to mute me in life quite often. But I believe you were saying you were feeling better and stuff like that, so that's good. You haven't played this game before, Peter? It's like I said, it's super old school, right? So like I said, it came out in the mid 90s. So I mean, most people are younger than this game even, right? But it's a super fun game. Like right now, like I'm doing something that's kind of like more kind of relaxed and kind of, you know, laid back and stuff like that. But I mean, like you can go into the dungeons and, you know, go adventuring in the dungeons. There is player versus player content, which is I mean, some of the best player versus player content in my opinion still to date, because you can actually go and control cities and actually control the economies in the cities. You can place guards in the cities. You can buy like special mounts and stuff. It's really super cool how in-depth it is for the age of the game. Like I always say and compare it to, it's very similar to like say like a Minecraft or something like that, because the actual game mechanics and everything are so vastly superior to the game's graphics that like looking at the game doesn't do it justice on what there is available in the game, right? Like even I always boast about it, but even the house ownership and house decoration is probably some of the best I've ever played around with. Like for perfect example. Okay, so this is someone's actual house, like a player in the game's house, right? I hope it's unlocked. No, of course it's not unlocked. But this is their house, right? So you can place like containers, like chests to store things, just like you would in say like Stardew Valley or Minecraft. Then once you go inside, you can decorate the house. You can either make the house private or public by locking the doors. That's that type of thing too, right? Super, super neat game. Sorry, I'll get back to the chest here. Alrighty, so everything's pretty much dead here, so we can get into looting and get into the final steps here. Oh, no way, another treasure map? I love it. Love it, folks. We're running with some good luck today here, folks. So what just happened there was, as I'm doing a treasure map, we just found another treasure map. I love it when that happens. Oh, see, there you go, Peter. And you know what's funny? I would consider this again. It's funny. I have Valheim, but I haven't played it. But again, this is a game very similar to a Valheim type of game. Go out, collect resources, come back to town, maybe turn in the resources. In Valheim, I think it's probably more of a crafting system than, you know, gold collection and buying things. But in this, you know, it's very similar where you would go out, you would collect hides, maybe turn those hides into armor. You could then sell the armor for profit in town, things like that, right? There is a crafting system in this too, but it's super neat. And again, for anyone that wants to check it out, like even if you just want to do some quick reading or something on it, or like I boast about it all the time, it's free to download, free to play. It'll run on virtually any screen system as far as I know. It runs on Android operating systems. I've heard it runs on Apple phones, but I'm not sure. I know it runs on Macs and stuff, PCs, and you do not need a beefy gaming PC to play this. Like, we're talking about a game that came out in the mid-90s, right? Your phone has literally 1,000 times more computing power than this would require. Oh, forgot to pop the chest before I actually popped it, but that's okay. It's only a level 2. That's why a lot of times I like doing level 2s, because I can make mistakes like that and not have to worry about it and look like a goof. Well, I look like a goof, but I'm not a dead goof, right? And I apologize again. I just wanted to take a quick second again to thank Fab for the raid, to thank Ozzy for the raid, because I always get all flabbergasted and stuff like that whenever I get raided and stuff. But thank you again for the raid, and that was super neat. The dual screening with you and Ozzy and stuff like that. That was really neat to watch. I've seen a couple of other streamers do it before, but I have to admit I don't think I've ever seen anyone do it like with in-game content. It's usually just them multi-screening when they're doing like a podcast, something like that. So it was really really neat to see actual game content played. Oh, Emo Girl! Thank you so much for the follow! Always appreciate a follow. How are you today? Much love, and of course, on that note, we're going to make sure that we give you a healing potion. Everyone that comes in and follows, of course, needs a healing potion. I'm trying to stay healed up. We make sure all our viewers stay healed up too, right? How are you today? Are you an Ultima Online player as well? Hopefully. Hopefully. We're trying to recruit people for Ultima Online. Because this is definitely a more the merrier type of game. This is, for point of reference, this is the great-grandfather of pretty much all MMOs, as we always like to say here. Yeah, this is a really neat game. I don't know. I really like it. Oh, wait, no. Okay, so if you haven't seen all the potions then, you need to see some more of the potions then. We've got the Rgb Potion here, which is seemingly everyone's favorite potion. The Rgb Potion is to keep lag goblins away, right? Take a little sip of this, and it cures the lag. So by all means, everyone share in the Rgb Potion, right? People are always asking, Heels, why do you have so many lights in your computer? You notice how my computer doesn't lag? It's keeping the lag goblins away. I'm paranoid. My computer is listening to me. Hey, computer, turn lights blue.
Okay.
Oh, only one's going to listen right now. Oh, so how is everyone today? How's everyone doing? There's no shortage of potions here, D. No shortage of potions. There's never a shortage of potions. We've got healing potions. Oh, we've got a mana potion back here too. In case anyone needs some mana, we've got our mana potion. It's out of magical energy right now, unfortunately. I need to get the magical energy recharged in the mana potion, but we do have a mana potion here that we like to give away. And then also too, since we have some new viewers in here commenting on the potion, we're going to give out our Luck and Love potion, right? The Luck and Love potion is for people who need a little bit of extra kick in their day, right? And this is for them. Oh, no shortage of potions. Also too, we've got our... This is usually reserved for when we're taming. Because, here, I'll flip to the other screen here real quick so you guys can see my other character here, right? We've got our deer masks, right? All our tamers wear deer masks, okay? That's a thing in Ultima Online. It's super old school. I used to wear them back in the day. So when I was able to find a deer mask in real life, I bought one. And better yet, it waves at people. It waves at people. That's the best part about it, right? That is the best part about it. Well, that's my favorite part anyways. Should be your favorite part. Yeah, there's so many games out there, Peter, where the graphics, I mean, it doesn't matter about the graphics. The gameplay...
network is located in United States. Its
Really?
headquarters
Oh, that's
location
great.
is New York.
I don't
New
care.
York, and it is from United States. Sorry, I don't know that one.
Computer, seriously, chill for a minute. Relax. Yeah, there's so many good games out there that the gameplay is so superior to the graphics that I feel like they don't get enough they don't get enough advertisement, they don't get enough just game time, because so many people are like, oh, well, I don't like the graphics on that, it doesn't look good, but the actual gameplay is phenomenal. Among Us, Fall Guys, Valheim, Minecraft, Ultima Online, RuneScape, I mean, the list goes on, right? But there's so many good games, and most of the games we just listed too are free. Oh, see, Peter, that's one of those ones you are missing out. In my opinion, that's probably almost probably the most widely skewed one for gameplay to graphics, because of the blockiness of it. That's one of those ones where it looks horrendous even to me. Like, this looks way better than Minecraft in my opinion, but yeah, but the gameplay in that is so good. Like ridiculously good, especially when you start getting into like all your mods and stuff like that. That, you know, to not play Minecraft is missing out. So I had a follow from Emo Girl, but where is Emo Girl in the chat? Emo Girl doesn't want a neat little avatar? Oh, which by the way, here, 1 second. We'll do a star drop here. So with these stars, you can collect the stars. And okay, so just to bring up here, I'm not affiliated with Twitch, so I guess I found out after I did this that you can't spend or redeem like my potions without being affiliated, which I mean kind of sucks, because it's a free currency that you rack up for watching, right? So unfortunately you can't spend the potions, but collect them anyways, because when I do go affiliate with Twitch down the road or whatnot, you can spend the potions and then you'll just be ahead of the game, right? So by all means, what you can do is you can exclamation jump and collect potions for yourselves, right? Or even what I can do too is, because I think Fab unfortunately had to leave for a little bit. Fab's on the other side of the world. So Fab had to leave for a little bit due to needing sleep. So okay, those were some good throws. Fab just got some pretty good points there. We're gonna get some... Oh, you are here. I thought you left, Fab. Yeah, we're throwing out stars right now. So with the stars, you can collect them for potions, right? So I was making sure that everyone here is getting some stars, because actually I'm pretty good at throwing the characters into the stars. I've gotten pretty good at it. I sit here some nights and just collect stars. So I'm making sure that everyone gets stars, because that's the other thing too. I don't think you guys can like side jump. Because when you get into like the arc jumping and stuff like that, that's when you collect a lot, right? So I'll make sure everyone gets a whole bunch of stars here. We'll do a bunch of spawning. Oh, okay. GB, what you have to do is on the right-hand side of my screen, if I'm not mistaken, there should be a little box extension for the stream avatars, like SA. What you do is you click on that, and then you can roll through the different avatar selections to choose a different avatar if you want. Obviously, the Pokemons are super popular. I'm Magneto, of course, because I'm Marvel obsessed. But yeah, it's awesome. I love this app. This is probably one of my favorite apps that I've gotten for streaming, by far. Make sure everyone gets some more points here. Peter will get some points. Get Peter some more. Get Zaz some points here. Oh, that was a good jump, Zaz. That was a good jump. Minecraft is digital Lego. Yeah, that's so true. So true, GB. It really is. Especially when you get into like your creative modes and stuff like that. And the Mind Paint's the best graphics. No, you're totally right. That's why I love Ultima Online, and that's why I gush about it all the time, but it's so true. It's such a neat game because the community creates the world, right? like for an example, like I run player run events in this game where, for an example, I'll run around with X amount of money in my bag, and then, you know, in Discord or whatnot, I'll drop hints for the different players in Discord saying, you know, for an example, like, oh, it's a shame that you shouldn't, you know, come find me for some money. And there's a dungeon called Shame. So, you know, you'll come find me, and then I'll be dropping hints for different floors or different spawn locations where I might be like hidden or stealthing around. And then people have to try and find me and kill me for like my gold and stuff like that. And those events are really cool. There's more in-depth ones with other more established players on the server too, but the community is what drives Ultima Online, and it's an incredible online community. One of the best ones to date because it's so well established, right? Like, even for an example, like I'm playing on a player-run server, right, which is probably being run from either someone's home server or a server that they have paid for out of pocket themselves because of a love for Ultima Online, right? So it's really neat that way. Here, we'll drop a couple more stars here. This one will let people jump themselves here. I'm not going to control you this time. But yeah, it's such a cool game. You know, again, for anyone that wants to check it out, I always drop the server link, you know, often and early for people that want to check it out, because like I always say too, like, it's one of those things where it's free to download, it's free to play, it runs on any computer system. So even if you just want to like kind of come in and like, even, you know, I know people that just use it almost like a virtual chat room, right? They'll come into town, chat with some people, you know, stuff like that. Maybe, you know, play a crafter character where you just make armor, or maybe you're a tailor or something, so you make clothing. The choices are limitless, right? It's really neat that way. All right, so we completed another map. I guess we might as well go do this plane map. So that's a level 1 map. It's the lowest level map. We'll go do this real quick since we just unlocked it from the chest. It'll only take us a quick second to do it anyways. These ones here, I pretty much just, like I was saying, I just loot and boot these ones. Yeah, especially with like the alligators and the spiders around. I'll summon a demon just to get rid of that spawn. Oh yes, sorry, I missed him. Sorry, I would like, as we were doing the jumping and stuff, I see now that there were messages in between. Sorry, Forza is crazy. Like, honestly, it's the best racing game for a reason, right? And I'm not afraid to come out and say that Forza is the best racing game. The other part too is it encompasses everything, right? You've got a little bit of dirt racing. You've got a little bit of road racing. I mean, it's got everything, right? There's drifting in it. There's like street racing, track racing. It really is such a cool game. And the fact that you can actually dial in all your cars like you were doing, like most people don't go that in depth with it, but the fact that you can actually dial in your cars the way you want them to drive, I mean, is huge for a car person that actually knows what they're doing for those, like, for those different, like, points, right? Oh, you're thinking about getting a G29 now? Like I was saying, definitely check out the different, like, I don't know what's down in the States and stuff like that, like if you guys have like Kijiji and stuff like that, but definitely check out like Facebook Marketplace, things like that, because you can find some really good deals on those. And I find, especially with like peripherals like that, a lot of the times they're owned by adults, right? It's not too often a kid's gonna pick up a steering wheel for his game console, right? Because you can't play Fortnite with a steering wheel. Can't play Fortnite with a steering wheel. That'd be my nephew's thing. He'd be like, "What? Like, okay, yeah, that's really cool, but like, you know, he'd probably almost be wondering, like, well, how do you get it so I can drive the vehicles in Fortnite with the steering wheel, but then use the controller outside of the vehicles, right? Yeah, by the way, my nephew is obsessed with Fortnite like every other kid in the world. All right. Loot and boot, loot and boot, loot and boot. Loot and boot, loot and boot. Oh, and another really good tip for any would-be treasure hunters out there. What I have done is I started another character with lumberjacking to started another character with at least one skill point in lumberjacking to be able to get a newbie hatchet, because then what I've done is I've just transferred the newbie hatchet over to my treasure hunter. So every time I finish a treasure chest, I always know that I have a hatchet to be able to chop up the chest, because as we were saying, there's no bigger a-hole move for a treasure hunter than having the previous treasure hunter not break their chest, because you can't dig up the next chest. So get yourself a newbie hatchet, never be without one, and you're safe. Don't be that a-hole. Oh, you are heading out this time? Hey, no worries, fam. Another long day? No, I don't doubt it. Well, I mean, I know that you're pretty much like going to sleep when I'm waking up, so I mean, it must be a long day for you. Because I mean, Ozzy's been in bed for a little bit now already, right? So, by all means, have a great day, and thank you for the raid again, right? Oh, I'm drying up, too much chit-chat. But thank you for the raid again, fam. Always appreciate it. Have yourself a lovely day, and take the healing potion with you, right? Sip on it throughout the day as you need it. And, you know, maybe it'll be a good sleep potion. I don't know. I've never actually used it to go to sleep. I've never used it to go to sleep, but it could be a good sleep potion. And all the best. Much love, fab. And again, I want to see more of that, I want to see more of the dual screen content in the future. That was really cool. That was really neat. I'd love to do that in this game too. Just seeing the different reactions of things and stuff like that. Because there's nothing better, especially too, there's nothing better in this game than like, you know, doing farming or doing, you know, a treasure map or something. And then all of a sudden you get like a rare item. Because like, I don't know, that's one thing that in newer games I find is really lacking, is the emotion tied to an item in the game. Because so like, I find new games are so grindy, and so the increments in gear, which is always the focus nowadays in game, is like just grinding gear and stuff like that. The increments in actual like benefits that you get from like one piece of gear to the next gear is so minor that like it's like, oh great, I got 0.5 better hit ratio on my World of Warcraft character than another, and I know those aren't real things, but I'm just using that as an example, right? Whereas like in this, like for an example, if I'm doing a treasure map, even on a level 1 treasure map, I have a chance of finding a level 7 map, which is like this huge thing because it's worth like 200 grand. It takes you into this really cool dungeon where like you get to like, you know, go spelunking underground. Like it's a big deal, right? And it's like, there's a lot of like emotion tied with that because like it's super rare. And you know, games just don't deal with that anymore. Like I was saying, it's kind of unfortunate. Oh, anything to knock you right out. Well, I don't tell people what's in there, but maybe it would knock you right out, fab. Have a great one, fab. Enjoy. All the best again, eh? Oh, that's too awesome. And again, always appreciate the follows, always appreciate the likes, always appreciate the shares, because I do multi-stream to different platforms and stuff like that. So for all the people watching and stuff, I just, you know, I'm here to keep people entertained and keep people healed up. So, you know, I appreciate all the likes and the follows and stuff. I hope people like the content. I'm here to keep people entertained. And if I'm not mistaken, okay, so just for a heads up, if Emo Girl is still here, and if it's the same one, I believe Emo Girl is from Super Cubby, which if that is the case, that is super cool, because he is such a cool, awesome guy. He is, that guy is amazing. So for anyone else, I'd love to do this. For anyone else that's in here that likes likes my energy and stuff like that, I hope I'm doing this right. 1 second. I hope I'm doing this right. I'm horrible with this kind of stuff, my commands and stuff like that. So I hope I do this right. But yeah, okay, so that worked. Okay, super awesome streamer, guys. Check out Super Cubby. He is a super awesome streamer. One of the few people I've ever come across that has like the same energy level as me, which it's hard. All right, so okay, so I'm gonna catch up on the messages here, bro. I'ma have a whole half second setup just for sim, dude. It is a I knew a guy in Barrie that had that. He had the full cockpit set up. He even had full 5-point harness set up. This was back in the day before VR and everything like that. But back in the day, people didn't realize, but you could have like an Xbox 360 networked with another Xbox 360, so you could actually like dual screen the Xbox 360s, so you could have one in front of you and one behind you, and it would actually have the proper images from front view to rear view, so you didn't need a rear view mirror. You could just look behind you, and he had this setup. He had full like panoramic views and stuff, and his sim setup was incredible. And we're talking about what, almost going 15 years ago, right? Like a while back, right? Well, we're talking about Xbox 360s here, right? So I mean, it was a while ago. But no, it's dude, I mean, we're talking about tech stuff in general, Zaz. Like, you and I have the bug already, and you're talking about getting into more tech stuff? Call me when you get out of it. And GB, I'm the worst for that. I'm a salesman by birth, and people have been joking about that my whole life. I got the gift of gab, and I have been known to use it at times. Oh, Zaz, I'm a wacky guy? Really? Why don't you just smack me over the head with the obvious stick there, bud? You about talk about UO like it's a cult. Honestly, it can feel like it at times, Avis. It just draws you in. It draws you in, it holds you, it cradles you, it rocks you when you need to be rocked. It's everything you need it to be and more. There you go. You know what's funny about that, GB Wolf? Okay, so we're gonna do like a quick, I always do this during these types of things and stuff like that, because like for me, like gaming in this stream is second. You come here for entertainment, right? You can watch anyone's stream, but it's true, like things like that, right, GB? Like cult type of things originating from Ultima Online. Ultima Online was the first real probably online game where you saw people meeting in game and getting married in game, right? Like these types of concepts, right? Oh, excuse me. You're a wacky guy, Ace. You're a wacky guy. Hey, Eduardo, how are you today, bud? Welcome to the stream. Glad you can make it in here. Hopefully you like, hopefully you share the stream. Always appreciate likes, always appreciate shares. But I'm just glad you're here, bud. How are you today? Joining in on some of this crazy talk here we have all the time. It's non-stop entertainment here, Eduardo. Well, that was one of the things that I was really trying to hype up, Avis. a lot of the times I'm not participating in the content that I'm talking about, because the other part of it too is you got to remember, like, a lot of my content is off hours for this server. So a lot of the things that I'm talking about happen, like, you know, between say 5 o'clock EST and 10 o'clock EST, right? So when I'm talking about like player run events and stuff like that, a lot of that happens off. Like, actually, you know what? Just since people are here and stuff like that, and I've kind of diverged away from game content anyways, I want to show you guys something really quick, because essentially what this is it is a it's a video by one of the guys on this server here. And what it is it's like kind of a player run server, or sorry, it's a player run event. And what this is it's actually like a scavenger hunt, okay? Here, 1 second here. And so with the scavenger hunt here, it's going to be really like poor quality and stuff like that, just because of the record quality and then me breaking it down here. But essentially what this is these players here are all chasing like quest givers in the game. So all of these people here that you see running around are, and then you've got like a person that's part of the quest, but everything is all player driven. And then with help from the developers, there might be like special items given away, maybe some extra money given away or something like that. But everything story-wise is player-driven, so it's all role-play based, right? So you might have one guild that's maybe a pirate guild, and the whole purpose of their guild is to run people out of a certain area of the ocean or something, right? Another guild might be, I remember a guild back in the day that was monopolizing a certain very popular mining area. So no one could go mining there unless they like paid the tax, or unless they donated iron ingots or ore to the mining cause, right? Like to the monopolizers, right? So it's really neat, the different things that are, you know, done by the players to drive the story of the world, right? And this server is really good for that too, by the way, because it's a very mature player base. So even if you're a role player, people are willing to play along with you. But this is essentially like, this is kind of like a little chaotic and stuff like that, but now they're going into like the dungeon and stuff, so they're working as a group to go through the dungeon, try and progress through the dungeon, you know, just different areas of the map. But it's all story driven. It's hard to show it here because the video jumps around a lot and stuff like that, but it is all story driven. I'm trying to find, oh, here's another one too, where essentially you start off the night with virtually nothing in your bag. So you start off with nothing, and then throughout adventuring, you have to like use the items you find and stuff like that. And again, you start in a group so everyone can kind of share items. It's just a different way to kind of play the game, because most people at this time are like me, right? Where they're playing fully developed characters. It's kind of easy to play the content. So it's just a different way to kind of limit yourself within the game. But it is really neat, like the different, the story-driven aspects to it, based on the players, right? Hey, Chris, how's it going today, bud? What's up? I would just have a PC with a racing seat, a steering wheel, flight controls, joystick, shifters, Honestly, man, that would be incredible. That's kind of like what I have set up like out here. Like, I do have the VR headset and everything. I just don't have all like the joysticks and the like the racing wheel peripherals. I've wanted to get those. It's just I ended up investing all my money in the computer and everything like that, right? So my budget only went so far. Oh, I'm gonna shut off. Sorry, I'm gonna shut this off now. I forgot. But yeah, it's really neat, the different. Here, let's see if it. Yeah, no, it's just kind of chaotic at the end here. But it is really neat, the different things that are added to the game by the players and everything like that to drive the storyline. And this guy here, Keza, is one of like the lead guys for doing that on my server. He's a pretty heavy role player, or at least like he's really heavy into like player run events. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Avis. Have yourself a lovely day. All the best. Enjoy, and of course, take a healing potion with you, right? Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for viewing. Always appreciate the conversations, Avis. And as I always say, hopefully we see you in game and stay healed up, right? Have a great one, Avis. And again, just in case one more time anyone is wondering, this is Ultima Online Renaissance. Great period piece server. Really well done, true to form, but some custom content. So there's things to keep people entertained if you left Ultima Online for a while and came back. If you played Ultima Online, years ago, it's a really well done server. I really like it. All right, so we're gonna keep this train rolling. We might as well, right? Might as well keep this train rolling. We're making some okay money here. And like I was saying, like most of my maps are actually in my house, so I have a ton more level 1 and level 2s. So that's kind of what I do on like my Tuesday streams. Nothing too crazy or anything like that. I like to keep it really chatty and stuff, kind of like Mondays. So I'll usually run some maps, usually do some content like that myself. Oh. Oh, no, I just put it back in my bag there. Alrighty. Get rid of that garbage. La garbage. Oh, I'm on a small island here. I never like doing these maps on these small islands. It's always so, like, hairy scary. By the way, Lenovo made a VR headset and Samsung made a VR headset. I'll be honest, I haven't heard anything about those. I'm pretty bent on the fact that like you've got 3 options right now. You've got the Oculus, you've got the Vive, and you've got the Valve Index, and at 3 different price points too, right? The Oculus is very well priced. The Vive comes in between the Oculus and the Index, because I think the Index, I want to say, is roughly $1,000 to $1,500 by itself without the gaming computer, which is a very expensive VR headset. And I'll be honest, from what I've read in the reviews, like the minor difference between the Oculus set and the Valve Index, I don't know if it's worth that extra money, especially because you have to remember, like, the content has to be able to push the system for the system to justify all that extra hardware, which I don't think it's there yet. There's not enough companies pushing the content for VR. Like, the only game you'd really probably feel a difference, in my opinion, right now is probably something like Half-Life Alyx. And are you really going to spend like an extra like $1,000 to just have one game be better? And to what degree be better too, right? Like, I'd argue a marginal degree at this point. Okay, 120. 120, going to map 120. I always find it weird when I go to a map and it's already set as the default, because like someone was just there or something. Oh, great. Yeah, see, someone left their spawn from earlier. Oh, great. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this map. That sucks. Because there's no way I'm going to be able to take out a demon and an elder gazer with someone that can just cast. I'm not even going to try it. Okay, well, that's too bad. Okay, I'm going to recall out of here. I'll save this map for another time. Or I guess, you know what? Okay, no. You know what? I'm not going to dip out that easy. We'll just do something different here. We're going to go take them out. We're going to dual box it here for a second, and we're going to go take them out here for a quick second. All right, folks? So for point of reference too, this is my animal tamer. For anyone that doesn't know about animal tamers in Ultima Online, animal tamers are crazy overpowered. Sad to say, but it's true. What was the map number again? 131 or something? Oh, 120. Okay, 120. Alrighty. Oh, and the crazy thing too is, this server lets you have 8 followers. So you can have 2 dragons and a nightmare. That's pretty overpowered. More so. More so overpowered. Tamers were already overpowered, and then they gave them more follower slots on this server. Don't get me wrong, I love it because I play a tamer, but... What is it blocked by? Alright, there we go. Now where'd that Deemer and Elder Gazer go? Or do they just disappear now? Oh, no, you're there. Oh, there's a few of them here too. Oh, it's because of another chest. Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm missing messages here. And what they're saying is Vive Cosmos Elite is the best. Oh, really? Huh. Yeah, okay, so there's 2 Oculus ones. There's the okay, so what I was saying was the Rift, in my opinion, is dead technology. Because the Rift is not going to be updated or supported anymore, from what I've heard. And this is coming from, like, Oculus themselves. So if you're talking about an Oculus, like, system, you're pretty much looking at a Quest. And that's either a 1 or a 2. I have a Quest 1, which is the first one, which is the all-black one. There is a difference between the Quest 1 and 2. Again, minor differences for the price, so it really comes down to preference. In that case, there is a minor refresh rate difference, things like that. But again, you're talking about, I think, a difference of 10 hertz for the refresh rate difference. I think, if I'm not mistaken, mine is 82 or 80, and the Oculus Quest 2 is, I want to say, 90 hertz refresh rate. So again, like, to pay all that extra money, and it's white. I hate that. I know that sounds really stupid, but I hate the fact it's white. But yeah, so there is that there. But again, I wouldn't be looking at a Rift if you're looking at an Oculus VR headset, because the Rift, for one, is the one that needs all the cords and stuff like that, and it's dead technology. Apparently they won't be supporting it anymore, so there won't be like updates for it or anything like that, apparently. So just be warned about that, folks, anyone considering a VR headset. And sorry, I'll get back to the messages here in a second, as soon as I kind of clear this out here. Oh yeah, I saw that on Discord there, Eagers. That's pretty sick, eh? That's a really good find. Yeah, like I was saying the other night, we found when it was Nick, Marvin, and I, we found the well, here it is here, the plus 15 silver Vank axe. Apparently that's worth like 480,000 to 600,000. So, woo! Whoop! My girlfriend's little guy loves the air horn noise. But yeah, that was a really nice find for us. So I've got it up on the auctions for 550. So hopefully we see that, and then hopefully we can sell it, and then we can split the money that way from it. So if you don't want the motion detecting controllers, which I don't, the Vive Pro eye tracking headset is $800. Well, dude, that's a lot of extra money for. I would be seriously like putting in the research between that and the Quest 2 or even the Quest 1. I picked my Quest 1 up for $250 Canadian. That's a big jump in price to have some extra like features. And when I say features and I use my finger quotes, it's because again, like it's like 8K technology. Like how many actual things can you watch in 8K? Maybe one or two. So I mean, like to say you have an 8K television is wasteful in my opinion at this point in time. But teach their own, right? But you know, VR is kind of the same way. I guess if you're gonna spend all this money in VR, like you might as well have it be like the best of the best, right? I guess. But I'm so happy with my Quest because like I always say, like I can take it over to a friend's house, you know, play it at their place without a gaming PC. If I want to. I mean, you're not really supposed to, but on like shady days, I mean, you can take it out to the yard. You can play in like a big, huge 30 by 30 field type of thing. Like, I don't know, there's just so many advantages for the, you know, slight difference in actual computing power, in my opinion anyways. I hate cords. I hate cords. But then probably another $300-400 to get the steering wheel and brake and shifter and pedals. Oh yeah, it'll be the investment and a half. That's definitely going to be a big investment in a setup. All right. We'll get this stuff looted and opened here. Looted and open. All right. Ooh, look at all that sweet loot. Look at all that sweet loot. All right. I'm just like speed looting it here, so hopefully I don't get aggroed too much. All right, we should be good there. You know what's funny? Beat Saber was one of those games for me where I was like trying to hold off as long as I could to not buy it. And then when I finally played the demo for it, it grabbed me hook, line, and sinker. That game is so much fun. It's a blast. It really is so much fun to play that game. And I hate to admit it, but it's true, right? Okay, I'm happy with that. Oh, of course, right? Tap me, and then I can run away and hide, hopefully. All right. It really is good cardio. Like any of the VR stuff is good cardio. It doesn't matter what you're playing in virtual reality. You're gonna get a good workout. Oh, excuse me. It's like Dance Dance Revolution back in the day. That used to be my go-to game back in the day, was Dance Dance Revolution. That was a lot of fun. And again, really good workout for the amount of fun that you're getting too, right? You have lost a lot of karma. That's one thing. This character is going to end up being evil for the amount of demons that I summon. He's going to end up having negative notoriety just because of demon casting. Hey, Kendra's Halo, how are you today? Are you a fellow UO player? We've been having some fun on Ultima Online Renaissance this morning. Just doing some solo dungeon chess. Just trying to keep it relaxed and chill this morning. I'm doing awesome. How are you today? I'm always doing well. Always doing well. And how are you today, Kendra? Oh, and by the way, hello. The hat says hello. I've kind of almost have like the hat of sorting from Harry Potter. But my hat's just the hat of awesome from Healzonu. Are you a fellow UO player, Kendra? Do you play this lovely, awesome game as well? I've had a lot of viewers joining up the last little while. I've been like the advocate for Ultima Online recently, and it's funny because I've got some people that used to play it that have been holding off on playing it, looking in a certain direction, that are trying their best not to come back to play it because it can be so addictive, right? Oh, Kendra, that's awesome. Oh, I'm super happy to hear that. Oh, I'm super happy to hear that. Yeah, it's a nice community here. I've met some good people from Grimes's streams. He's always trying to get me to play League of Legends too. Which I was explaining the one time, like, I'm almost too nerdy at this point to play a game like that, because there's too many characters to, like, try and learn their abilities and everything, learn what they do, and I'd be the type to dive, like, you know, head first into it, right? I'd never get through all the content that you'd have to absorb to be able to keep up with players that have been playing that game for years now. But it is such a neat game. I always play, like, if I'm going to play, like, a mobile tower defense like that, or, like, a MOBA game, I'll usually play Heroes of the Storm. Just because with Heroes of the Storm, like I was saying to Grimes, like, I know the characters because of playing Blizzard all the years. So when they introduce a new character after me not playing for a while, I at least know kind of how they would play because I know their abilities from the other game I might play them in. So, it's kind of that, right? Well, if you don't play a UO, you should. We'd love to have you, Kendra. Yep. We've been trying to get Zaz in Ultima Online for a while. We've been trying to get GB Wolf into Ultima Online for a while. We've got a few people that we've been trying to convert into the UO cult. Oh, okay. You're a mod on the streams. Oh, okay. So what games do you play then, Kendra? Are you like more of like the Stardew Valley and stuff like that? And like Minecraft and stuff, like all the like the creation games and everything? Because we were talking about those earlier. Like those are so much fun. Pretty much like we were essentially saying, you know, like Minecraft is essentially, you know, digital Legos, right? It's super awesome that way. Like anything you can think of, I mean, your imagination is the palette, right? All right, might as well go do another level 2 here real quick. Keep it going here, right? Tomorrow we'll probably be doing more of like a farming stream or something like that. I'll probably be doing more of the dungeon content, and also probably hopefully some leprechauns too. If I'm lucky enough to come upon some leprechauns, we'll definitely be taking those out. Today is kind of more relaxed. I was feeling a little bit tired this morning, so I wanted to do some treasure maps. Plus, I've got like an abundant amount of treasure maps that I've got to start getting through. So this is really good to start freeing up some bank room too. Number 155. Oh, someone else is popping level 1s here. All right, so what we'll do is I'll drop this down on the spot so I remember where it is. And yes, I know I can use the map, Ekers. I just find that easier, to be honest, man. Make sure I don't have any aggro on me. And then get our demon spawned. Oh, by all means, have yourself a great day, Zaz. Say hello to the family for me. And, of course, take a healing potion with you, right? Sip on it as you need it. You probably need it because you're watching your nephews and they're probably going to run you ragged. I know mine does. But sip on it as you need it, right? And thank you again for coming in, enjoying the stream as always. And have yourself a great day. And enjoy researching through the nose about that race sim, eh? Sounds like you got a little bit of a project to do. That's half the fun of something like that, right? Is the research and stuff like that involved in a new tech purchase, right? Oh, so you're an FPS player. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You're an FPS player. That's cool. That's pretty cool. I'm a big Overwatch player myself. I really like Overwatch. I like class-based shooters. Like I'll jump into Apex every once in a while because it's got like the different character types and stuff. But I'm a big like class-based shooter person. I really like Paladins. Overwatch is generally like my go-to first-person shooter. But I really like that style of like first-person shooter. Both like the map directive and just the difference in playstyles between the different characters. Kind of like a combination of like a League of Legends meets like Call of Duty type of thing. Because it's funny, I always kind of joke about oh, did I pick up the blood moss? That's funny. Oh no, it's down here. Oh no, I picked it up. Probably have to recall in here. Picked up the blood moss. I always say it's funny because I can't play games like Call of Duty and stuff like that because I have that split second of like thinking like, wait a second, is this person on my team? Is this person not on my team? Like, wait a second, should I shoot this person? Should I not shoot them? And then by the time I figure out that they're not on my team, I'm dead. Where is it? Like right here, I guess, maybe? You always say use the map. Oh, I guess maybe if I zoom in, maybe? Okay, maybe if I zoom in here, maybe that'll help. I always forget you can zoom in on that map. Yeah, okay, alright. Shut up, Ekers. Honestly, I always forget you can zoom in on the map. Like, these are so many features that are new to me, right? Like I was saying earlier, like, you know, it's a 20-plus-year-old game, but you're still learning things about it, right? Because they're always still developing new things and new user interfaces and stuff to make it easier for people. So, I mean, there's always new things being added to the game. Yeah, Apex seems to be like the top one. Paladins and Rogue Company have been amazing too. Oh, you play Paladins as well, Kendra? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I really like Paladins. My only problem, and I've brought it up a couple times, is I don't play like ranked or anything like that because I find like Paladins has a glaring like balance issue. And I've talked to a couple of people while I'm streaming it and stuff like that, and I've brought up the point because like a lot of people are like, oh, it needs to be balanced. From a developer standpoint, you will almost never be able to balance that game the way it is right now. And what I mean by that is because it is a team-based, like, map objective based game, and they haven't limited the way that the characters can be chosen. So for an example, you can have 5 healers, you can have 5 support, you can have 3 support and 2 DPS. You can have any combination of the characters they've selected or like they've developed in the game. Because of the open character choice from the beginning, there's never going to be the ability to be able to balance the game, because if you don't know what the team composition is going to be going into a match, you can't balance the 2 teams or the individual characters, in my opinion. So there's always going to be a big glaring issue with Paladins on balance issues because of that fact. If they could just come down, and even in ranked, like quick play, who cares, pick whatever you want, whatever. But in ranked, there should be like a one support, or however the team composition ends up working, but there should be like a 2 support, 2 DPS, 1 frontline type of, template type of build, or at least like 2 or 3 types of templates, so at least they can balance the teams before they balance the individual characters. Because like, if you don't know what a team is going to consist of before going in, you can't balance a team, right? And people are going to constantly complain about balance issues until they kind of figure that out, in my opinion. Like Overwatch did that. Overwatch developed it so now, for one, you can pick your role queue before you go in. So like before I go into a match, I just pick healer. So people before I even go into a match know, oh, Healzonu wants to play a healer. He's going to pick healer, right? And then from there, you kind of know what your team is going to consist of. So it makes a lot more sense, right? It's pairing you with people that are going to pick a good team composition based on what they want to play, right? Which is the system it should be. Yeah, I kind of like that combination too, Kendra. I'm a big fan of like the one DPS, 1 flank, 2 support, and 1 frontline. Because even in most cases, depending on like how you're playing and who you're playing with, you can kind of play the second support character as a flanker, or almost like a team flanker, and maybe pair them up with the flanking character and play like a high mobile support or something, like a Corvus or something, to help with the support and maybe flank around the back. So it's really strategic to play based around that team composition. I like that team composition too. But you don't get that though, right? It's everyone picking DPS roles because the DPS roles do the most damage, right? It's like any other game. It's like what you see in Overwatch when you get people that... Oh, beautiful. I'm probably going to die here. But you get people that pick Overwatch characters based on essentially how the character plays and not... I'm going to die here for sure. They play the character based on... they play the character based on the weapon type and not how the character should play, right? So for an example, you'll get a lot of people that play a Moira character because they like how her damage has like a soft lock. They couldn't care less that she is a support character that's supposed to heal people. All they care about is the fact that like, I can go out there and I can heal myself and I can deal damage. And it's really lazy because I can just hold down my non-reloading weapon, and anytime someone walks in front of it, it just starts damaging them, right? Like it's such a lazy character to play, but people play it because a lot of the times you get like, play the game based on it and stuff because like, well, I'm healing and dealing damage. Those sorts of things, right? Oh, Kendra, you'll love it here then. You'll love it here. Hence the name Healzonu, right? I am support main through and through. I've played it for years. And it's funny too, because even I play a game like I play a side game called Healer's Quest. And what that is essentially, it's like a satirical game based around the life of a support character and what we have to go through you know, dealing with, you know, different groups and, you know, different mentalities of groups and stuff. It is very entertaining. It's a super funny game to play and to watch. Because even what I do is, there's only so many characters, so I do different voices for the different characters. So it's really good. I usually try and do it on Monday mornings, but this past week, I apologize, I wasn't really in the mood to be doing like, you know, 5 to 6 plus different voices, so I skipped it. But normally on Mondays I do my healer's quest, and it's super funny, entertaining. Really good content. But you always got to show love for the support mains, right? Because even that's like with commendations and stuff like that. I don't care how many kills a DPS will get. I'll still, you know, commend the support main every single time. All right, so we're pretty much done here. We're gonna chop this chest, and then we're done with it. All right. Make sure we've looted everything here. So what we're doing here too is I'm walking around stealthed right now, so I am actually technically hidden. This little, like this orcish mage that's right beside me, he can't see me right now. So I'm just walking around hidden right now. Okay, so we're all done here. So let's get out of here. Let's go back to town. Let's bank up our loot. Sweet. And for anyone that plays like Ultima Online, I realize this is not the most like lucrative money and stuff like that. Like I'm sitting here with 2 tamers off screen. I realize that I could make more money. It's not really about the money in a lot of cases for me, especially when it comes to treasure hunting. I just enjoy the content of it. I enjoy just recalling around, digging up the maps, stuff like that, right? I enjoy treasure, like the dungeon picking. I just like this part of the game. So this is my town walking outfit, and I don't wear shoes because as I stealth around, it doesn't really make sense that I'd be wearing like big clunky boots or shoes if I'm trying to stay really quiet, so I go barefoot. I do a little bit of role playing into my characters, so. Oh. So also too, to cast spells, you need reagents, some people will pronounce it. I don't know, I pronounce things weird. So you have to keep stocked up to be able to cast spells. Oh, need that bank open. We'll go sell some stuff here real quick. No, my favorite Kendra is when they're literally standing right in the middle of a checkpoint and they've got 5, say for Paladin's sake, they've got 5 people full on either headshotting them because they're just standing stationary, or they're, I mean, it doesn't matter, right? They've got 5 people shooting at them and they're expecting the lone healer on their team to be able to have enough healing throughput to be able to overheal the 5 people damaging them. Is that how they think the game mechanics have been developed? That me as a healer just prevent you outright from dying if I'm healing you? No. But same thing, right? I've had people full on freak out on me, like frontliners freak out on me because they're just stationary standing on the payload checkpoint, whatever, getting hammered on. The rest of the team is half the times dead, and they're just sitting there, you know, why didn't you heal me? Why am I not getting healed? And it's like, well, your health bar isn't going up because they're doing more damage than I can throughput. Like, man, like, the game isn't developed that way, bud. See, I wish I could, Kendra, but unfortunately in Overwatch, you can only do up to 3 members of your 6-man team. So you can only do so many members per match. So it limits you on that. You can't be a commendation slut. See, you can't be wearing boots on your stealther, Ekers. That just means that you're just like stomping around like, I'm here to steal from your dungeon chests. Because even the fact that like the apparently we've got a quest on right now where there's a really rare pair of boots that you can get, which gives your character plus 20 to their stealthing skill, which is obviously really good, right? But anyways, they're a pair of boots. I don't know why they wouldn't make them like a pair of like cloth slippers, like name them something like that, like cloth slippers or something like that, right? Oh, I usually try and keep my kite shields because of Healzonu being a parry mage. Oh, there we go. Fortification, metal kite shield. Love it. Love it. So I like the metal kite shields for point of reference, folks, because the metal kite shields you can actually dye with the clothing dyes, so you can make them any color you want. So I always like to use the metal kite shields on my my character that uses shields. It's kind of an unconventional character as well, because the character I'm talking about isn't like a warrior. It's actually a mage that uses shields. It's just I built like this really like tanky mage, so the mage doesn't die very often. But yeah, I've got a few decent shields stored up. And like I was saying, like that way I can use like a regular dye tub on them, and then get them all dyed up and everything, which is cool. I hate when I'm on point with the front line and the DPS pushes the enemy spawn after they all died from an ult. Yeah, it's true, right? Like sometimes it is strategic to push and be aggressive afterwards, but it can be really hairy too, right? You've got to play with that fine line of like defense and aggression when you're trying to hold down a point. The other thing too is I hate it, like especially in Overwatch, when you've got like your map objective and it isn't capped yet, and you've got your team trying to push the enemy team at their spawn point, and they're literally just burning clock time when they could be sitting on the payload, like capturing it, because like they're literally waiting for the enemy team to come back and spawn, like just waiting for the clock to burn when they could be building up time on the payload, right? Like that kind of stuff drives me up the wall when people are playing for the kill and not playing for the map objective. Like 100 kills makes a difference when there's a payload to progress on the map, right? Like kills don't matter unless you're in deathmatch. So yeah, exactly, right, Kendra? It's a 5 versus 1. Like, heals are not meant to throughput that much to overcome 5 people. The idea behind a support character is to support that character. Say that character gets in a 1 versus 1 duel or something. They can peel off. I can keep them, getting back quicker to the fight. I'm not going to outright prevent your death, but I can at least keep you going a little bit quicker, right? Maybe I help you do a little bit more damage, things like that too, right? The idea is I'm so quiet it doesn't matter that I'm wearing boots. That's the idea behind it, eh, Eekers? Oh, okay. So the idea behind the stealther is you're just that quiet where it doesn't matter if you're wearing boots or not. You almost need the boots to give yourself, like, to give the monsters like a fighting edge, right? To give them a chance. Yeah, it's all just gonna be crap magic items. Okay. Okay, just to finish off the stream here, what I might do is, I might do some quick farming here, actually. Actually, that's not bad. That's not bad money. I started with virtually nothing today, so that's kind of cool for a couple of maps. Yeah, to drive them crazy. They think they heard something, but there is nothing in that corner. That would be really funny if you could almost like project your footsteps in this game. That would be really funny. Because there's been a bunch of times where like I try and like creep people out when I'm like stealthing around them and stuff like that. Like I'll open a door in a room beside them or something when there's nothing around, or like different funny little things like that, right? Or like if they're in a dungeon and they've got stuff on the ground, like I'll pick up the item so all of a sudden it's gone and then put it back on the ground, and then like just keep doing like weird little things like that until they catch on that there's someone there. I think that stuff is so funny. All right, so we got some, like I said, that's not a bad find. A +10 Chris of Power. I mean, it's not gonna, it wouldn't sell for a lot of money on this server because magic items aren't worth a lot. But I mean, for our Fencer, that's a decent weapon. You know what's funny though, Kendra, on that note, is I do, like on Baptiste, one of my favorite characters in Overwatch, I do actually have a an immunity beacon. I can throw down a beacon that has like a lifespan itself, so you can kill it before the time spans up. But for X amount of time, anyone standing in that area can't die. So it's really funny to watch like newer players and stuff like that, just like, you know, pot-shotting my team and stuff. And meanwhile, I'm just sitting there keeping everyone alive because they can't die as long as they stay in that area. It's the only character I've ever really seen with something like that. It's really, really powerful. And it's got a really long cooldown. It's what, 30 seconds? In an FPS game, that's really long, right? Yeah, it's funny too, a lot of the times, seeing it where, like, I'll recall into a dungeon, and because I recall in hidden, you can hear the recall spell if you're listening, but you can't see me recall in. So it's really funny seeing people, like hear the recall spell, and then all of a sudden, like, they gather all their belongings and stuff, and then just, like, recall out of the dungeon themselves, because they probably think I'm a PK or something like that. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to get my sweet, sweet loot. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, we're going to sit here for a minute. I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take my tamer out, just real quick here. I think this is going to be a kind of an earlier stream here, folks, today. I hope no one minds. But I'm gonna cut this one off relatively early today, actually. Hang out with the family for a bit and stuff like that. But like I said, what we'll do is we'll go do some quick dungeons. We'll do some quick farming, not for very long, and then head out for the day. Honestly, Kendra, Overwatch is so much fun. If you like paladins, in my opinion, it's refined paladins. I didn't realize it when I started playing, because I actually have played Overwatch like for years now, and I just kind of got into paladins recently. So it's kind of funny, like now streaming paladins and stuff like that and finding things out about it, because I found out just recently that paladins is actually older than Overwatch. So I feel like Overwatch kind of took a lot of things that like could have and should have been done in paladins and kind of refined it a little bit. But I do love, like, the one thing about paladins I really feel that was missed out on for Overwatch is like the additions of like cards and stuff like that. I love that you can kind of almost change the way an individual character works in itself. That is a really neat aspect to the game, with the different cards, and then even when you start a match with the different perks through like the pointing system. I think that's a really neat aspect to the game. I guess they do that instead of, because in Overwatch you can re-pick a character to re-counter a strategy on the fly. So for an example, if they've got a lot of snipers and we need more shield coverage, I can switch my tank on the fly to a tank with shields to counter the enemy team. Whereas I guess paladins did it in more of a character development through the map way. Because even I get a lot of times when I'm playing paladins, people will like freak out on me because I'm not spending my points for the first, maybe like the first round and a half. And then I kind of see what the map and the enemy team is playing as or developing. Then I'll pick my points. Because like for an example, if they've got, and you know this will happen, Kendra, as a support main, if they've got 3 supports playing support roles, but none of them are actually healing, then maybe I don't want to pick a skill like Cauterize or something like that, right? Because it's kind of a useless skill. But if I had chosen at the beginning of the game, I'm going to go, oh man, there's 3 healers on the field. I need Cauterize bad, right? It might have been a wasted skill if I picked it too early. So there's a lot of strategy that way and just nerdiness, right? Here I am rambling about nerdiness. I know, right, Mr. Pablito? Well, the thing too is as I was saying recently, we are getting like oh man, you know what? Oh, is that okay? How does that look on camera? Is that I can't do that. Unfortunately, I can't do that. I was gonna say it is like beyond gorgeous outside here recently, folks. So I'm gonna keep the door open for 2 seconds here, but I'm Canadian, so we just obviously got through like our winter. By point of reference, it was a super easy breezy winter, really mild and stuff. But we're finally starting to get some nicer weather now. So my family and I are taking like full advantage of it as much as we can. So today's another gorgeous day. So I'm probably going to be cutting the stream off very shortly here. Going inside, hanging out with them, hanging outside for a little bit, hanging out on the deck and stuff. So things like that. But I will, I want to see if maybe we can run with some really tight luck here and see if we can run to the Titans here, the Cyclopses, and see if maybe we can pop a Leprechaun. Because this is the event right now. So in Ultima Online right now, there is different events for different times of the year. And right now there is an event going on where there is special spawns, which are little leprechauns that show up on the map. And if you kill a leprechaun, there's a chance that you might spawn like a little portal. It's like a little sparkly portal. And if you jump into the portal, there's like a little mini boss inside the portal. So if you're in dungeons, if you're on the overland or whatnot, you have a chance of finding these leprechauns and they're hidden. So everyone is out trying to find these leprechauns right now. So maybe if we're lucky, we might actually find one down here. Because they're virtually everywhere, right? Why is this dragon not moving? Oh, it was stuck in that weird spot. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, sorry. I'll close this door back up here so you can actually like see what's going on in the stream. Yeah, I'll have to try and figure out the light thing in the future because that'd be really cool to be able to have that door open in the future. And I'm probably going to need to have it open in the summertime because it's going to get really warm in here. That's probably like the most common question I always get asked. Like, is it warm in there? Because I'm outside, right? Like in the wintertime. People always ask me, is it warm in there? Yeah, I'm in here in a t-shirt. It's pretty warm. See, there you go, Kendra. I save my points for the first round. I need to see the play styles. Yeah, I'm the same way. And I've had people like, what are you, a bot? What are you, bot? And it's like, bud, I'm top healing and I'm one of the top DPS on the map. Like, cool your jets, man. And that's what I love too, right? When you get people after the match where they're like, oh man, why didn't you even do anything? I got 80k damage. It's like, yeah, I got 70k damage and I got 70k healing. Do the math. Do the math, bud. I have 140k of points in the match versus your 80k. Yeah, you did 10k more damage as a DPS player. Congratulations, bud. Do you want your gold star for that? You want your dessert now too? Like, I think that's so funny with people. Cool your jet. That's like a dad saying, right? That's totally like me as dad coming out, right? Cool your jets, like, holy cripes, right? Like, oh, some people are just so hot to trot, like, and that's the other part too. Like, you're playing quick play, right? Like, You know, like, who cares? Who cares? It's quick play. Enjoy the time. We're playing a video game here. There's no money at stake if you win or lose this fight. Well, it's even like this game too. Like, I have probably literally given away almost more money in this game since like starting on this server than I have spent on myself. I give away stuff all the time. And people always ask me like, "Oh, how much money do you have?" Not really that much, but you don't need much. I don't need a ton of money, right? Like, I don't need it. I'd rather have someone else come and join and play in Ultima Online and, you know, spend $50,000 that I've made and enjoy it, probably more than I would enjoy spending 50 grand in the game, right? And just to, like, advocate for the game, to bring more people in, I'm always willing to give people money if they want to come play Ultima Online. Try and get another creature here. Spawn's kind of slow in here right now. It's kind of weird. Usually there'd be a lot more in here. We can usually like provoke the animals onto one another so that they will attack one another, but spawn's kind of slow in here right now. Yeah, no, you're right. Like, the frontliners don't generally say anything because they generally realize what's going on. But it's usually the DPS are the first ones to squawk. I always, like, no offense, and, you know, like, it's just factually true. Like, the DPS are always the ones to squawk, I find. Unless it's a tank that is way over aggressive. Because you get that too, right? Where they're just diving in every single time, and it's like, they don't realize the team composition they're playing with or against in a lot of cases, and they're just diving in and sacrificing themselves every time, right? That's super frustrating too. And it's funny because it's always those tanks complaining about the lack of heals, right? The dive tanks. So yeah, so I can get characters to fight one another too. So this character, like, by point of reference, this is probably the most powerful type of character in the game for doing what I'm doing, like dungeon hunting, because essentially I can have creatures attacking one another as I'm attacking another group of creatures. So I'll get this group of creatures to kill themselves off while I kill off this guy up here. So I mean, it's so overpowered, right? And again, like I've been playing Ultima Online for years, right? So I know how to make these characters. Like, everyone always finds like tamers very frustrating to make. I can make a tamer in a couple of days with very minimal work. Generally, like, you know, sitting watching TV or something like that, right? I've even had people pay me in game to like make them tamers because they're so frustrating to make. And this, like I say, like, this is kind of a little bit more interesting to watch and stuff like that. Like, me actually going into the dungeon, me, like, actually fighting stuff firsthand. The treasure maps I just like doing because I'm a big fan of doing treasure maps. I love treasure hunting. But like I was saying, like, this is way faster money than anything in the game. This is by far the fastest money you can make. And especially with this character type. Like, I've already made almost $5,000, right? And the cool, okay, so point of reference too, this game is really neat because it's so different than most other games nowadays too, because for point of reference, like, it's very risk versus reward. Because for an example, if someone comes into the dungeon right now, like another player comes into the dungeon right now, they have the option to kill me if they want to. There's nothing mechanically stopping them game-wise from coming in and actually attacking me and trying to kill me and stealing everything that's in my bag right now. Everything that I am wearing and everything that I am carrying is technically open and available to be stolen, except for very, very limited items. The only items I will keep on my corpse if I die are pretty much like a couple of clothing items, my headdress, because I spent like mad money to get it, to stay there, and things like that. Like otherwise, everything on my corpse would leave if I was to die right now. So it's very neat that way. Because most games nowadays, like there's so many systems built in where they're just there's no risk to it, right? You die, you get resurrected, you come back to your corpse, and you're back into the fight, right? This is very different that way. Oh, as I almost die talking about it. Yeah. Who just killed me? Oh, is there a second? Oh, there's a second Titan there. Go figure. Go figure there's a second Titan there. Okay, so again, I'm just going to be super cheap here and just use a second character to resurrect myself. Because it's going to be really tricky to try and get my character out of the bottom of the dungeon like that. So I'll just use my second character here and be cheesy. Go into the dungeon and then resurrect myself. And it is a regular thing for me to die on stream. I'm not some like elitist player or something like that. It is quite often I will die on stream. A lot of the times usually from lack of attention or whatever else, right? Oh no, one of my dragons died. I have plenty of dragons, I'm not too worried about that. Like I was saying, I was just kind of more or less showing off to some people that haven't played Ultima Online before and stuff like that. I just wanted to show off like what you can kind of do in the game and stuff like that. Some of like the actual hunting in the game and everything. But yeah, so now I have to like actually go back to my corpse and actually loot my body and like get the stuff back that I had on me when I died. I'm just lucky that nothing is like there's no worry about anything really. Okay. That's pretty much it there. Make myself look lead again, of course, right? Can't be going into battle looking crummy. Okay. Pesky Titan flame striking me. All right, so we'll throw up a gate here. Get back out of here now. And I have to admit, what I just did there was pretty cheesy, like bringing in a second character to like resurrect myself and stuff like that. But I mean, to think that I'm the only person doing that type of stuff is ridiculous. Everyone's doing that type of stuff. Because on this server, you can have 3 accounts and be running them all simultaneously at the same time. So you can do stuff like that, right? And again, it's kind of cheeseball to do stuff like that, but whatever. I don't care. I don't care. It's a game. Like I said, it's not like I'm some elitist or something like that, vying for some tournament or something. Oh, that's what I said. Like, that's what I'm saying too. Like, I always die on stream. Like, I'm such like a casual gamer that half the times I'm reading Discord. I've got stuff pulled up over here while I'm still in a dungeon. I've had people PK me, right? And then like they're standing there like waiting to resurrect me, and I'm still just blabbing on stream and stuff like that. Like I always joke, it's, you know, you always come here for the entertainment, not for the game content, right? But it's so true. It's so true. So now I'm just trying to get my dragon healed back up here. And like, there you go, like 7,500 gold for the amount of time I've been here. Like, I was here for like what? I think I was literally here for 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I made 7,500 gold. But yeah, the tamer, provoke tamer on this server is definitely like the best money you can pretty much make, right? Well, at least Colton didn't die. He'll be happy to hear that. That's my nephew. I named my dragon after my nephew, so he'll be happy to hear that he made it out of the dungeon. It's funny too, because this always seems to be the dragon that like makes it out alive if either of them die. Oh, and it's true, right? That's the thing, Kendra. Like, oh, sorry, sorry. Let's do this here then. And that's the thing too, right? Like I'm not the type of like top tier gamer and stuff like that where you're going to be seeing like headshot after headshot and, you know, like play of the game after play of the game. But I truly believe that, I mean, I've watched streamers for a long time, and I'm not trying to sound rude to some of them. Some of them are boring as watching paint dry. And it's weird too, because it's not like they're that good at gaming, or the games they're playing aren't that entertaining. Like there's so many better options for streamers out there nowadays. And that's one thing I strive for, Kendra, is entertainment first and foremost. You know, you can watch anyone play any game content. You can watch someone that is, you know, a tournament player playing at, you know, top tier level gaming if you want to, but you come here for entertainment, for laughs, you know, to have a good time in the community, right? And no, Kendra, like that's super awesome. Like I will certainly follow up with a follow after stream here, because like I said, I'll be getting off here. Like pretty much, I'm just kind of wrapping things up here and stuff like that. But I'll be definitely following your stream afterwards as well, to check you out, to see some different content and stuff, and especially to show some love to another support main, right? Oh, for sure. And I mean, I get that with certain games. Like there is times where like on Friday mornings and stuff like that, sometimes I'll kind of like, you know, do more of like an FPS stream where it's either like Paladins, you know, Overwatch, maybe something like that. And essentially what I'll do is like, it's game time, then it's chat time. Game time, chat time. Because you can't really break between the two. But I still always prioritize the chat if I can. It's so important in my opinion. And that's what I was saying earlier too, if you were in here when I shouted out Super Cubby. Super Cubby is one of those streamers too. Super just like an A+ entertainer, really entertaining guy. At that point, put it on YouTube. It's not really streaming, and that's the other part too, right? If you're just kind of highlighting your game clips and stuff like that, you're just, you know, showing off, you know, that you can you know, click on someone's head, then a lot of times it is about YouTube, right? Just show the game content. There's not even a point of having a stream camera going, because you're literally just watching someone like just like. You know what's funny though? Watch me do that, and then watch all of a sudden my view count just like. That's a secret of it. You just. I'm almost out of Coca-Cola. G Fuel. My views are going up. My views are. Could you imagine, Kendra? Could you seriously, like, could you imagine? People are like, that dude's hard breathing and he's drinking G Fuel. Get in there. Someone share that guy's stream. Share his stream. Someone get in there. We need to watch that guy. Oh, man. But on that note, I totally forgot about that. But on that note, everyone, thank you again for watching today. Like, non-stop laughs, non-stop entertainment here, right? It has been so much fun. Again, I wanna give some shout outs here, right? Wazuba, thank you for the follow yesterday. One thing I want to do too is, because Kendra, I feel like from talking to you and stuff like that, one of the communities I'm part of is the SAS community. Really helpful and really just supportive streamer community. I really enjoy talking to them, and a lot of them play like they do community gaming nights around like Call of Duty, Apex and stuff like that. A lot of them are FPS players. If you ever want a cool stream community to check out the SAS community, Kendra. I feel like you'd probably fit in really well there. Like I always kind of make the joke like it's streamers assisting family, because it's streamers assisting streamers. Because it's so much like that, right? Like everyone like, hey, how's your morning going? Like, you know, hey, have a good night, sweet dreams type of thing. Super, super cool group of streamers. Check them out if you get a chance, Kendra. That's where Chep and Wazuba are from. Wazuba followed me yesterday. Chep's followed me a couple of days ago. And then we also had Rip to Stream raid yesterday. Also an alternate account from a SAS member, always showing love amongst the community and stuff like that, which is obviously appreciated, right? And then we had Scottish Aussie raid today. We had Fabinator raid today. We had Emo Girl follow today. Again, thank you for following, Emo Girl. I wish you had jumped into some of the chat and stuff like that. Maybe in the future. You never know, right? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if it is who I think it is, I think you are a Super Cubby fan. So you probably just literally watched like his probably like 8-hour stream, which he does like daily. The guy is so committed to his craft. But you probably just finished watching his stream, so you were probably ready to hit the hay hard after watching him. Because even just watching his energy level would burn you out. And again, Zaz, thank you for the raid, and longtime follower and group member here. He had to head off to go hang out with his family, like I'm about to go do. He's a super techie guy like I am. I love, you know, talking tech with him and stuff like that. And that's the other thing too. If you ever have questions about tech or anything, by all means, pick my brain. I love talking tech. I love reading about things and stuff like that. So it just gives me another reason to nerd out and to do some more research, right? Some of the people in my communities are like that, and K-Watch to support, and like the chat's dead because you're not even, and that's the one nice thing too, is like even the SAS community, like as a community, will come in, they'll do like their rounds of different people streaming, you know, like chat up for a little bit and make like their rounds in the streams and stuff like that. It's just a really nice chatty, supportive community and stuff like that, right? Again, I fit in well there, right? Oh, that's funny. That's too funny. Oh, okay. You know what's funny? You probably are in the stream then. Because if you met them through By Gaming Elite, you almost are definitely in the SAS community then, which is super cool. That's really neat. Like, small world, right? Well, that's even like I'm playing Ultima yesterday. Total random guy on Discord is like, hey, I'm having a hard time like taming creatures, like, you know, like it doesn't work the way I remember it working. Like, can someone, you know, give me a hand? So I went out, gave him a quick hand and stuff like that. Turns out he literally lives like about not even an hour's drive from me in my like area in real life, right? Small world, right? So funny things like that, right? But it happens. And it's cool too, because the internet, as much as it kind of divides us, it still brings us together, right? In those funny little ways. But speaking of which, internet dividing us, I'm going to take this opportunity and not let internet divide me from my family. Probably hop off at this point, stream another, or raid another streamer, and, you know, enjoy the beautiful weather we're having today. But again, one more time, I always like going through, you know, and thanking everyone again, from people from the last little while, right? We had little Bo Peach, who is a UO streamer, or sorry, a UO, I believe a UO viewer, who gave me some really helpful tips, which I need to implement into creating UO emotes and stuff like that. So thank you again. Mr. Pablito, who pops into my streams quite often. Always appreciate the views. Mr. Pablito, Dak Attack. We've got, Dak Attack is actually one of my my guild members, so it's really cool that way to interact with people that I play with who didn't realize I stream, and people who watch me stream that didn't realize I play this, vice versa, right? We've got Gucci Gouda. Love that name. We've got Lamester. I feel so bad for Lamester, because here I am, I'm horrible with names. Here I am Esther. I am Esther. Hi, Esther. How are you doing today, Esther? I thought his name was I am Esther 99. It's Lamester 99. We've got Fabinator. Thank you again for the raid. Longtime follower from the pub community. Great community as well. We've got GB Wolf, who I'm going to get you on Ultima. Don't worry. One of these days, you're going to see an event that you can't turn down. What I'm waiting for is my my winter scrolls. I've got a couple of, here, I'm going to show real quick here. I've got a couple of winter scrolls that I'm going to open up, which are a seasonal event. So when you open these scrolls, it opens a portal, opens a special dungeon, a special event, a special quest. Once you see those, GB, I think you'll be hooked. They're a special drop from all the winter creatures, kind of like the leprechauns. So don't worry, I'll save one of the scrolls for you for when you jump on UO and when you're all macroed up, and we can get into some content that way, bud. And then we've got Shep again from the SAS community, Wazuba, Rip to Stream from the SAS community, Scottish Aussie from Pub, Fabinator from Pub, Emo Girl, and Zaz. Again, thank you so much, everyone. Like, it's been so much fun here last couple of days. I took a long break and everything, but I'm really, really glad that I'm back, because it's non-stop fun. I always have fun entertaining, and just getting to chat with you folks. Hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Discord. So this is going to be my Discord here. By all means, for anyone that wants to join up on Discord and be part of the community, we'd love to have you, right? Make sure you take some healing potions with you for the day too, right? Oh, healing potions and Rgb potions. Potions galore here, right? Oh, speaking of which, I opened my alchemy vendor, my potion vendor in-game. So that's pretty cool too. But again, everyone, much love. We're going to send it off and make sure we raid a fellow streamer here, because we always like to make sure we raid someone. So yeah, there we go. Oh, there you go. Yeah, join. Whip sound. Whoopah, whoopah. Chandler, it's whoosh, whoosh. That's the sound I'm making, guys. Whoopah, whoopah. But again, on that note, we're going to be raiding out here. So hopefully everyone will stick with me here through the raid. And again, everyone, have yourselves a great day. All the best, everyone. Much love. And have a great day. Enjoy the weather that hopefully everyone's getting too. Hey, computer, good night. Oh, hey, computer, good night.
Okay.
All the best, everyone. Much love. And to everyone who is not on Twitch, thank you again for viewing. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the likes. Tori, always appreciate the like, bro. Sorry for the late reply, but always appreciate the likes and the shares, as always. Everyone, have yourselves a lovely day. Enjoy. All the best. Much love, everyone. Take a healing potion with you. Sip on it as you need it. Peace out.